What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of the Spectator Mode Podcast. I am your host, Keith Mitchell, and joined with me are my friends, my buddies, my people that drive me crazy from the Outerhaven. We got Matt, Get Serious.
Hey, how you doing? And I only drive you crazy because I love you, in theory.
Just sounds like something my wife would say, okay? And we've got
exactly
RPG enthusiast, aka RPG lover, Scott here. What's up, Scott?
Wait, he's the only one?
Yeah. I'm clearly the only one that likes RPGs here, you know.
Your title says indie variety streamer. You can't change
RPGs are... Hey, man, RPGs are indie now, if you see how it goes. But yeah, like, look, until Scott starts talking about the good Lord of Tactics Ogre and then start talking about how to break game, then I would say he's a... I'm just kidding. But seriously, though, Tactics Ogre, it's a great game, you know?
I'm not going to say I never played it because I never played it. But anyway, going to our first topic because we got a lot of stuff to get through. As you know, we like to talk about games that we played, but we try and keep it in the condensed format because if we did, we'd be here all day. I'm going to go first because it's going to be simply Baldur's Gate 3. Hey, there you go. I'm done. Next. I can't get off that game. Any help?
No, it's a fantastic game. I mean, I'm glad you finally got on it. You know, that's great.
I just been running around trying to kill everything I can, level up my characters.
Yeah, it's a fun experience. As you may check the YouTube channel, I've streamed a full playthrough of Detective Grimoire. I played Final Fantasy Crisis Core, not Ever Crisis. There's a difference. I had to learn that the hard way. Crisis Core. And I also played, I believe, Metal Mutations, which I didn't enjoy as much. That was on stream. Off stream, I've been having this random bug to just play classic RPGs. So I've been replaying Dragon Quest XI for some reason. Still playing Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode, breaking that game into its core. It's super fun. I played a demo of a game called Noxious Weeds. It's not. I thought it'd be like another follow up to.
That name sounds weird.
Exactly. I thought it'd be a follow up to Atomic Crops, but it's not. So I did not enjoy it. I've been playing some Crazy Taxis. I mentioned on stream. I've been trying to do this challenge. I may do it in the future, maybe the next week or the following week, where I will do only arcade mode runs and see if I can get S rank in Crazy Taxi. I think I've been getting better. I can get consistent B and A ranks. And the last game I've been playing is I saw there was a patch for a game called Wild Frost, a game that I did not like as much. I gave it a 3 out of 5. And the game...
Wait, that was the roguelike card game that we were talking about?
Yeah, it was a roguelike card game, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they made it was a patch a while back. They changed the game. I'm playing it through the patches. It still doesn't feel good. I think that there's a lot of core issues with the game that just good. I mean, they loaded difficult to make it easier, but there's a lot of things going on in it. And that's about it. Oh, and I purchased a game called Slime 3K, and I'll be playing that maybe next time.
What is it called?
About it. Slime 3K, Rise Against Despot. Made by the people who made Despot's game. Yeah. It's a game made by the people who made Despot's game, which I enjoy. I will try that in the future, let you know. Oh, and the one fighting game I keep playing, I said last week, Grand Blue Goddamn Fantasy Rising. I love that game. I can't wait for Relink, and then I could just abandon that game for Relink.
You actually put down Guilty Gear Strive for this game, guys.
It's not even funny. Like, yeah, I did. Like, unless you play Strive, I'll play you in Strive. That's not what. Gosh, Strive hurts. Strive online hurts. That's what makes me not play it as much.
All right, Scott, your turn. What you got?
I didn't actually play a whole lot this week. I have been testing out a mini controller, so I did play some classic games on like the Nintendo Switch Online library.
Oh, mini controller. What is it? Can you talk about it? Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, it's out. It's the review's not out. I'm still writing it, but the controller itself is able to be purchased. It's a Mamba mini controller. It's like the size of like this. Like you can barely hold it.
Like a Joy-Con controller?
It's like half the size of a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, literally.
How am I going to hold that?
It is tiny, but it's actually the buttons are actually like pretty solid, like how they feel in control. The only problem I have with is with the L and R buttons, and the fact that it actually has like a 9-hour or like 10-hour Bluetooth battery that it can actually control, like can be connected on Bluetooth for about 10 hours of playtime for such a small controller is actually very impressive. But yeah, I've been playing like Fire Emblem with it, like the original like Game Boy Advance ones. I've been also playing some of the Game Boy Advance titles, a lot like Pokemon, Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. I've just been trying out on like PC and then on Nintendo Switch because it works on both. And it is pretty easy to pair, though. You just have to remember to keep the instructions handy in case you forget which button combinations, because there's like 2 button combinations. One for Switch, one for PC. But once you pair it, you don't need to really do it again. It'll just automatically be paired to whatever it is already paired with. So I finally started my run of Legend of Nayuta. I've been waiting to actually play it so I can actually have time. And I really do like it.
Not to cut you off, did you catch any of those amazing errors that ruined the game for you? Those amazing auto errors. Oh my god, such bad things.
I haven't seen any errors yet.
I caught 3 of them in the text, and it ruined my game experience. It went from a 3.5 out of 5 for me to a 0 out of 5. You know?
Oh dang! You already didn't like it. Okay.
Exactly. Oh god, seriously, Legend of Heroes Reddit is a very toxic place. I mean that unironically.
Don't go there. Don't also go to the Falcom Reddit. Those are like really bad Reddits right now.
Oh my god, yeah.
The last game was something I played actually yesterday. Is a bunch of, well, not really a bunch, 2 of my friends. Me and another one of my friends, we actually paid together to get a Christmas present to my other friend, which was Baldur's Gate 3. So all 3 of us could play Baldur's Gate 3 yesterday for like 8 hours, and it was really fun.
I was going to ask you, because you said that. I don't like how. So I thought you could play it multiplayer by taking your existing characters, not making new characters.
No, you have to make new characters, which some people don't like, but I honestly love it because like you get to see how they react to certain situations. You can have different people do different cutscenes, and you can also weigh in on what you want people to say by like choosing it. But and yet it shows up on the person's screen of what you chose. You could also just like not choose the thing they want when you're the one in control of the dialogue. It's actually really fun, and you also get to see how fast you can kill things when all of you are min-maxing stuff. So you have like
yeah, exactly.
It's like all these multi-class people going on and just like one-shotting everything. It's just absolutely hilarious. Turn like encounters that should kill you, and you're just like still surviving an entire onslaught of enemies because you're all min-maxed.
Basically,
until you do the dumb thing and bring Gale with you, and then he dies, and because he dies, he kills every one of you.
Yeah. Spoiler, because people probably know that yet. Spoiler.
Don't bring Gale anywhere with you if you're in a multiplayer session.
Yeah. No. The funny thing is that me and my brother, as I grind the game, we've killed the Spider Queen on level 2. That's how mid-maxing we were. Yeah, because we knew what to do. Like that's for that way. So it's like playing Baldur's Gate with friends. Like, oh, I don't want to make a new character. The game tells you to do ultimate. Just make new characters. There's so much you can do.
It's a lot easier with other people because, I mean, unless you're someone who actively goes to camp and respects all your characters, which, I mean, is fun to do, but I also feel like it also detracts from the actual characters and what they want. But that's a whole other thing. That's depending on how much immersion you want versus how much of a game you want.
Yeah. All right, so I'm calling it. We need to do a full playthrough multiplayer with Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm down for that.
And just stream it. We need a 4th. Well, we can talk about it offline, but when you mentioned the whole Gale thing, I remember picking up Gale after they were like, "Oh, hey, by the way, you can blow up and destroy everything." And I was like, "Does it mean it only destroy what's in the area?" And
no.
So I put him. I said, "All right, go fight this guy." And I did it, and he was like, "Oh, game over." I was like, "Oh, I guess cannot use that nuclear option anymore." Good job.
Don't
use it. Do not.
It sucks because Gale is good. Like when you have people who aren't magic and you want a magic user, I probably should have vouched more for Will, but I did like the utility Gale does bring. But the problem of having Gale is if he dies, your entire run is gone.
Oh, 100%. There are For Honor runs that people have done. Before For Honor, hardcore runs that people have done called the Gale Bomb, where they would just use Gale as a suicide bomb to beat bosses and don't care about reviving him. They would use it as like, I'm not winning this game anymore, kid. Trust me, I don't recommend it. It's completely inhumane. I mean, wink, wink. But
Totally didn't try that.
As long as it works, that is the thing. If it works, who cares? I'm kind of not taking Gale anywhere anyway.
I wouldn't recommend it. That's why I say Will is probably the better bet if you want someone who's just damage with magic. Shadowheart has good spells, but she has such not good stats that they usually miss.
Right. The thing about like Shadowheart is
let's stop because we'll be talking about
otherwise. Yes, that's what that is what I have played this week.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our topics now. I've said this for years, and I have not been very PC or cordial about this. I hate Bobby Kotick. I hate him.
That is such a hot take.
I hate
Hot take, yeah.
I hate everything that he's involved with. I hate everything that he has done. I hate the things that he has done to people and what people have done to themselves in turn. I hate him. I'm glad to see that he is finally gone, but the downside of that is he leaves with a golden parachute.
Oh no, 100%.
And that sucks.
Yeah, he was like one of the driving forces that kind of like helped ruin Blizzard and Activision as a whole, both together. Bobby Kotick with the terrible Kotick. I mean, he was just bad.
He's trash. He's trash.
He was trash. Yeah, he's trash.
Because I blame him specifically for how Overwatch has been.
100%. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why, like, a lot of dev people, like, there was other reasons too, but like, he was like a key factor of like a lot of the brains of Blizzard left. You have, I almost said his name, Ben Bro, I would say one of the key teams that helped make Hearthstone. Now he's making Marvel Snap, which is a better game in my opinion than Hearthstone is right now. Jeff Kaplan left Blizzard after Overwatch and working on World of Warcraft, and hopefully the NDA comes up soon. We can make another video game. I'm being serious on the NDA. The NDA timer has to tick up soon. He needs like once Jeff Kaplan makes like I don't know Bikini Watch 3. I don't care what you call it. We're all gonna make. He's getting that money. We're done. We're done.
Yeah, but I don't want to. Yeah, this guy, whatever. I hope he never touches another gaming company ever again. I hope he does nothing. But he's got so much money that he probably will go, I don't care. He'll probably just fade off in the sunset, and we'll never hear his name ever again.
The worst part
until he gets sued, because he's going to get sued.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. Just sue that guy. Sue the hell out of him. He deserves it. But that is it. I don't want to give that moron any more time out of my mouth ever again. Goodbye, jerk off. Next wonderful topic. This topic is something that I want to talk about. And over the last week or so, there has been more information regarding the upcoming Nintendo console. And we've got more possibly concrete information from a consulting group called Kantan Games, which is a Japanese consulting group. And they were talking about a couple things about this new console. We don't know a name. We do know that it's probably going to be around $400. Likely we'll have $70 games. And it will not be a revolution like the previous Nintendo consoles were. This is going to be more of an iteration. Basically means it's going to build upon. It won't be anything super brand new. And people are kind of not sure about this. I did a video earlier about this on YouTube talking about this, so definitely give that a look. But I want to know what you think, meaning you, Scott, and you, Matt. What do you think about this?
Alrighty. So my personal opinion is I kind of want it just to be an iteration because the Switch already is a pretty solid console in design and ergonomics. It still has some issues, of course, as like the Joy-Con drift. It's very low processor power and very low like graphics processing. So having a much beefier Switch, I think, would benefit a lot. Plus, I think with how big like the Switch user base is right now, bringing a backwards compatibility feature will also be a big target to get more people to buy another Switch type thing. Because, I mean, you can already see how much like Switch OLED is sold or a Switch Lite is sold. Just because it's something like an accessory or something, the Switch still sells a lot of units. So having it be an iterative on the Switch, basically just being like a Switch 2 or whatever they want to call it, knowing Nintendo is going to be something ridiculous, but I don't care. Their titles have often stuck when they do make new names. Sometimes they may not, but most of them have. So I'm really excited to see what the Switch 2 or whatever they're going to call it will provide in terms of its power, its gameplay, and if it'll actually be 100% backwards compatible, because I already have a humongous Switch library. So being able to bring that with me is another big, I guess, incentive for me to get the new one.
I think that the Switch 2 Electric Boogaloo is going to be the worst console of all time. It's going to ruin everyone's happiness and ready to be clipped. Okay, now the real situation. I think that it's going to probably also be an upgrade to continue it, obviously. Backwards compatibility, it depends how much they're going to change. Nintendo is very conservative and greedy for money. I think most of the digital games will be kept. The physical ones, I don't know. That's the real thing I'm worried about. Like, are they going to make that much of a change to their cartridge system, anything like that, to the hardware, where they have to say, oh, I guess we have to buy our slightly fatter cartridge disc for your game, which would be it's not a bad look. People are like, oh, that's bad. Like, Nintendo has done this before. Remember, do you know the difference between a Game Boy pack and a Game Boy Color pack, when you look at them, you look at the games, you don't know. Exactly. They made us pay the money for it, okay? Look at the box. That's what they got us with the box. Exactly. But honestly, it really depends how they change the hardware. I do, in good faith, feel like the digital library would be kept the same because they want to try to do what everyone does to keep your account, keep it together. But hardware, it depends. Hardware depends.
That's it.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I have. I think that's it. I think it's a good thing to happen. Digital probably stay the same. Physical depends how much the can change. I wonder if they're going to improve the Joy-Con drift issues and other issues that came with the game. Obviously, please tell your people do not keep your game on 24/7 because it will melt it. That's a good bet for the Pokemon fans grinding out there. That's a bad idea. I know back in the day we could do that, but today you got to stop. Just hit save.
You have a Switch OLED model. Do not keep it on 24/7, please.
Yeah, exactly. That is not going to help us all. Just do the right thing.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just run my mouth for the next 10 minutes because I'm a tech guy and I love tech. And I thought Scott was going to do it, but he didn't. He disappointed me, Scott. So, iteration. Let's talk. I want 1080p 60 frames per second. I don't want anything less. It cannot be 720p. If it is, it's going to be an instant failure. It needs to have backwards compatibility. And I know people are probably going, this is Nintendo. I heard it on this podcast. Nintendo needs to show us they have learned a thing or two. If they do not give us a platform, a new console that does not have backwards compatibility, that may finally trigger some people to go, wait, I don't know if I want to buy this. There's an existing Switch library out there, and this is their only system they're working on. It's not like before when they had like Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or 2DS, 3DS, as well as a physical home console. This is their only console now. They can at least go back and make sure this is backwards compatible. That's going to be something we don't know because we don't know the chipset, or even if they're working with NVIDIA. That's going to be a big thing. If they're not working with NVIDIA, backwards compatibility is just going out the window. If they are, well, then that might be a thing. $400 is being tossed around for the cost of the platform, and at this day and age, it's like, why are you people bitching? It's $400. It's the cost of a console. How much is the Steam Deck? How much is the ROG Ally? How much is the Xbox Series S? How much is the PlayStation 5? Guys, stuff goes up. Prices go up. This is
it's the market. 400's fine, but again, you're at 400 for like 1080p. Good luck with that. This is Nintendo. They're look, and I said this before, and I think in a podcast before, you got like a little whinged by it, but it's like, you think Nintendo cares about tech specs? So they care about selling to these people like, oh god, I get to live my my Zelda dream again. Yeah, they don't care about that.
Well, that's my thing.
Yeah, that's your thing, but you messed up by assuming Nintendo fans like go for that stuff. You have to understand.
Well, here's the thing.
They got away with Breath of the Wild. Technically speaking, Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece of a game. They got away with it. The sales different, my good friends.
People complained about that. They complained about Tears of the Kingdom. They compared about where the hell that new Pokemon game is. They started going, hey, maybe Nintendo's system can't handle this crap anymore. And this was everybody saying it. Only people who were this is great was the people that are like diehard Nintendo fans. It's like,
that's the real market.
Do you know the best way to play Nintendo's Tears of the Kingdom is? Do you know the best way to play the game? Anything other than the Switch. That's a damn shame. When I have to play it on a PC
people complain
about it. ROG Ally to get the better experience, that's a problem.
No. The thing is that people complain about it, but they bought the game anyway, so Nintendo doesn't care. That's my opinion. If they
play it legally,
look, if you could play the game through the pirate ship and Nintendo doesn't catch you, you won the game of life. Okay, but the thing is, like, in my honest opinion, Nintendo doesn't really care that much about optimization months because they got those fan people locked in, and even those who complain grit the teeth going to buy it anyway. They got them. So, in my opinion, I'm only hoping that they let them keep their digital library. That is my lowest bar kept. That is it. Everything else is a wish.
I don't think they're going to go backwards. They're not competing against anybody. And if they go 1080p 60 frames per second, which you have to do it. Anything that NVIDIA is doing is going to be like, well, we can't give you something that's going to run like 720p. It's just, we didn't design for that. It's this. Nintendo had no insight to their Switch design as far as SoC. It was, hey, we have these boards left and you can use it for your console. And just so happened, this is what it does. NVIDIA doesn't look back. They go forward. So it may not be Nintendo's. It may not be what's we're looking for here. They may not have a choice.
And on their design, but at the end of the day, you prove the point I just said. They're not going. That's not their intention. Someone else would do it for them. Like, oh, thanks, guys, hooray! Look at that, we're in the future. Only because the other company decided to do it. We don't care. That's the point I'm making.
If you look at Nintendo's past with their hardware, it's kind of been like that the entire time. So I don't want to talk about all that, but it has been. Go back and look at all their hardware. Their consoles, not their handhelds. Their consoles. You'll see it hasn't been really them pushing the envelope. $70 games. We got $70 games now.
Like that is something I like when I think about $70 games. It's like, okay, I got like, unless you're like me who has patience to wait for like a sale to whatever or get it through other fun means. It's just the way it kind of is, and that's kind of not something I'm happy with. But it is what it is, as the kids say.
It is what it is. I talked to somebody on Twitter a couple of days ago, and they were like, "I'd be happy with $100 games." And I was like, "If games were $100, I wouldn't be buying them anymore. I'm not paying
one game a year."
Yeah, like I'll buy 4 games a year. I've got things to pay, like my mortgage and my electric and everything else. $100 on a game. I'm an old man. I remember when I could spend $100 on 3 games. Now I can only spend $100 on 2 games if I'm lucky. But $100 on 1 game, that ain't happening. I ain't.
Yeah, that ain't it, Chief. Yeah.
In terms of the console, we'll have to wait and see, but at least that information seems to be concrete. I also would like Nintendo, and I'm waiting for Matt to clown me, to get a better online presence.
Yes. Please.
No. So here's the thing: Nintendo online presence matters on certain games. Certain games have really good netcode. One of them being, unironically, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart
Deluxe is insanely good netcode.
Smash needs better.
No, Smash sucks. Smash is underwater. Okay, like if the only way you can have a good connection with Smash is if you are 2 people, meet me offline online. That is the only way you can do that. Otherwise, no. It is unironically Mario Kart 8. I can arguably say that I had a good netcode experience. Donkey Kong Kingdom was a decent netcode experience. Yeah. I could say that the Mario parties have good netcode experience, but that's kind of it. I haven't really super tested a lot of the other multiplayer games, but it's very slim picking or good netcode for multiplayer for Switch. So it's like, it depends on the project if they care about it. And clearly, they care a lot about Mario Kart.
I mean, if you look at the sales of Mario Kart, you can see why they care about Mario Kart.
That number keeps going up.
It prints money.
It just goes up every day.
I feel like that's one of the reasons why they haven't made a Mario Kart 9 is they just keep how much is Mario Kart 8 sold? It's still in the top 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I really hate that. I really hate that so much. Like, can we get a new Mario Kart, please? No, this one's selling fine. We don't need
it. They sell DLC add on top of it. And to me, when it comes to Mario Kart innovation, like the last innovative Mario Kart game, technically by mechanics wise, is probably Double Dash. The new Mario Kart games have like they look shiny. They have new courses. The course is innovative, but like the kart itself is done. It's like they're not into that anymore. They're all about making really good races. I'm not going to deny the Mario Kart Deluxe freaking tracks. A lot of them are banger tracks. So that's their focus. If banger tracks, keep the mechanics. That's what it is. I don't like unless you're doing speed running anything. There hasn't been anything new besides like what was that technique you could do in Kart 8 where you do like a hop and a slide, but it counts as a power dash. That way, you probably don't talk about Scott because you play, but you hop, it becomes a slide, and that's probably the newest thing that's ever happened. It's like years ago. But anyway, yeah, it depends on the game. Honestly, I think Nintendo only cares about certain games. That's what that code goes into.
And they need to provide online saves. They need to have better online saves without paying for it. I know that's a joke, but come on, this is ridiculous. You mean to tell me I need to have Nintendo Switch Online to get online saves? That is dangerous territory you're walking on, and we need to have a better system so that when I have a Switch and my son uses my Switch, that my son doesn't erase my stuff because he can log into my account.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Come on, give me a basic password.
basic password. I earned this. Yeah,
that is so dumb. Like, oh, I just logged into your account, Dad, and deleted all your stuff, or just used up all your stuff in your game.
Yeah, I earned the Dad. This is mine now, Dad. Don't you ever think about it again.
This is exactly what he says. This is mine now. My Steam Deck.
No, it's exactly. Like, this is mine. But unironically, yeah, I do feel like this is being seriously. Nintendo does need to get at least on the bare minimum, and I do mean this term, bare minimum of acceptability for gaming. But it doesn't matter because they have the power. Their fan base doesn't care as much, and their fan base jump through hoops to make their own games work. So why give them a help? Why help them? They'll jump through hoops for us.
Let's just move on from Nintendo. So this one, we had an interesting debate about this one. Twitch has been in everybody's headlines over the last couple of weeks for the wrong reason. And they have allowed people to go on stream to show things that they should not have been showing, and Twitch just went to hell more than what it already is. It was getting to the point where people were going to Twitch and looking at the most recommended things and seeing nothing but barely visible tits and ass, and it's like, well, if I wanted soft porn, I can go anywhere else other than Twitch. And apparently something or somebody decided to make Twitch roll back what they unleashed onto the world. Now, I'm going to say first that it was advertisers who told them, look, this is unacceptable. If we don't let other people do this, other places, other companies do this, we're not going to let you do this. So either you fix this or we pull our money. And hit them in the bank account.
I mean, that's what happened. That's what happened to Twitter. I mean, once the advertisers pulled out, people, the news got really wild about them. But yeah, the Twitch like topless arc. Let's leave this that, okay? The topless meta, meta. That's what, yeah. I hated it because it was a lot of people like showing their bum side of like really bad takes or whatever, and not understanding. Twitch's system has always been abusive, and it's not the people abusing, it's the people top that allows it to be abused. And people aren't blaming them for it. Twitch as a system just doesn't work consistently to help out new viewers or new streamers, or it's abusable. Remember, again, as someone who streams under the VTuber tag as a VTuber, there was a time where people were abusing the VTuber tag to get like more views. They weren't. XQC being one of them. Thank God he fell off plus ratio. But it's like, that's a thing. Like people were abusing tag system to get views because it's new, and this is the same thing with this the topless meta. And the thing is like these wouldn't exist if the people above it made things not work to make this impossible. And that's my real concern. I'm not like.
I thought it was hilarious when they did this, and I was like, wait, this is not going to end well. And sure enough, there we go. People using the black bars. I'm like, are they actually naked under there, or are they just using that just to say that they are? Then we had this one guy taking off his clothes, like, Twitch, you need to fix this, because I don't understand why people say this isn't a thing. Twitch is the biggest streaming network on the planet, right? And people go there to stream games, to watch people play games. And as much as people say you shouldn't say it, there are children who go there. There are people like my son who go there, and he's probably seen tits and ass by going to Pornhub, because they don't stop you from going there. They actually, are you 18? Sure.
Yeah, they don't do very well with that.
Sure. Yeah, they go on spicy websites. Yeah.
So we don't need that on Twitch. We really don't need that. But yet they're letting these mega super influencer people doing things that they should not be doing. And Twitch was like, well, this is okay, until I'm assuming advertisers came and said, no, this is not okay. You need to fix this. Because they rolled it back really fast.
Oh, no, 100%. The whole thing got rolled back, people exposing it. One of my famous streamers, a former alchemist, Professor Lando, made a stream where he just straight up drew Rouge from Sonic, the Sonic the Hedgehog series naked. Right there, raw dog naked. It's like, and he just like did a face like, yeah! And that was just wild. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's the people in the back, and it's just really bad. Like people like, oh, blah blah blah, women, blah blah blah. This like, no, it's nothing to do with that, dog. It's the people in the back that's ruining it. Trust me. If they actually care about control, whatever they're doing, this wouldn't be this way. Though Twitch has been slightly better with the rollbacks. Affiliates get 5% more income. There's a better search feature. We can dual stream. Unless you're a partner, you can't. But affiliates can dual stream, etc. But it still feels like the system itself for Twitch isn't consistent or helps people find more people. Twitch is the aggregate. Everyone uses Twitch or else, because without Twitch, Twitch, like you have a YouTube channel, Twitch is a good place too. If you have a TikTok, you probably have a Twitch too. Even people who I unironically didn't know, who I watch for like video essays or documentarians, have Twitch pages. I'm just saying, man. It's the thing. So of course they should have more self-awareness, but Amazon Buko bucks turn the brain to mush, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's really bad with the Twitch whole being an aggregate too, just in the sense that it doesn't do good by promoting your actual recommendations when it wants you to recommend a channel, especially during this whole artful nudity meta. Most of your recommended channels were all that right then. Like every channel had at least 3 or 4 recommended artful nudity segment tags, even if that person never actually looked at or was interested in those tags.
Yep.
So I do think that most of the issue of them getting those views was also because Twitch decided to recommend those views. It recommending the so-called meta to you was the biggest issue, not just the fact that it was there too. So
right, exactly.
Yeah,
if you are, say, a kid going through Twitch and you just look at any of the recommendations you have on the front page, you're going to be hitting that.
Oh man, look at these women do blah blah blah. It is softcore blah blah blah. I'm like, I get that. That's not the real case. The real case is that the people behind it are allowing it. That's the thing. Like, for example, right there could be, we run the Outerhaven, and there could be somebody who is anti Microsoft, right? He hates all Microsoft products. Microsoft sucks. The worst thing ever happened to his life. Blah blah blah, right? But he goes on like insane tirades, unspeakable hellish tirades, right? And this guy says some pretty nasty words. But if no one stops that person, then it's the site's fault too, as well as the person.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Exactly. Right. And that's the case. And that's the issue I have with Twitch. Twitch allows this stuff to happen about anything, and they only like stop it. Like, what were they thinking? Because they were thinking with Amazon Buko bucks. Like, it probably was advertisers, and that's the best I can hope for now.
Well, like I said, I only assume it's advertisers. It could have been anything, but the problem is we're never going to know. And honestly, I don't want to know. I just want them to fix it, and they're working on it. They said I don't know the exact changes they're doing, but they are getting rid of the nudity for the most part. I still think they're allowing some update to our attire policy, and their site's running slow. What are they saying? We do not permit streamers to be fully or partially nude, including or opposing genitals or buttocks. We do not permit streamers to imply or suggest they are fully or partially nude, including but not limited to covering breasts or genitals with objects or sensor bars. We do not permit visible outlines of genitals or even when covered. First of all, it's your fault that you even have to go this explicit. That's your fault.
Yeah. It's like, thanks, buddy, for explaining the issue.
Broadcasting nude or partially nude minors is always prohibited regardless of content. Do you think?
Oh, God.
For those who represent women, we ask that you cover your nipples and do not expose under breasts. Cleavage is unrestricted as long as cleavage is unrestricted as long as these coverage includes or met.
And they made their own coverage like system for it. There was tons of photos showing like, you could block if you have X-shaped nipple blockers, it's fine. You have the strap. It was wild because in the VTuber space, people had the designs. So we're like, I guess under boob is good, but side boob bad. It's a whole wild just taste. It's like
the thing is, this is maybe because I'm an old man, but this is blowing my mind that this is even a thing. Like why is this? Why? You go to Twitch, my breasts are here and my cleavage is way out here and the camera is way up here. I'm like,
and the game is like the smallest thing on
this
the
small thing. Like how?
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's.
I'm playing Pokemon. Are you though? I can't see it.
You're getting.
Right.
I mean, I'm not one to say don't exploit what you have to make your way. Everybody does that. We all exploit something that we have or know to get ahead in the world. That's what we do. But come on, we don't need to be doing that. This is why this keeps happening. This is why Twitch is in the middle of these crosshairs. Like we do not allow you to show your genitals or outlines of your genitals. Why is that even a thing? Why is that? Why do you even have to say that? It should be implied. Don't do that.
No, it's the blow up. Why? It's because it's that, like, how to put this? They're trying to maximize a lot of the Buko bucks in their system instead of, like, in my opinion, if they really want long-term revenue to build things outside of, occasionally having events to makes buying subs or bits cheaper, which is always a good thing, right? Support your streamers, support us as well, blah, blah. But I do means like they need to create systems where smaller streamers or niche communities have a place to be founded in their system recommendation. Because at some point you're just feeding the top and the people at the bottom are starving, and that just doesn't work. And they have
and that hurts the system, because eventually, how much crap can you take before you go, you know what, I'm done, I don't want to. It's already bad enough for small streamers to get on Twitch and try and carve out a little niche for themselves. But if you're constantly feeding the fat cats with the 1%, eventually the people below are going to go, you know what, maybe this isn't worth it, and just give up. And maybe you lose some talent, or maybe that person is amazing and ends up going to Kick and does great over there or something.
Yeah, I don't recommend Kick. Don't even joke about
that.
I would.
I also like this one. I'm not gonna stay on this topic. I like this. For areas of the body where coverage is required, the coverage must be fully opaque. Sheer or partially see-through clothing does not constitute as a coverage. Why? What is? I gotta wear clothes. Don't wear clothes that are see-through, because basically you're trying to get around what we said not to do. They're literally spelling out everything now. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Twitch, you have an uphill battle, and it's all your fault. It's all your fault.
Majority, yeah. It's the way they built they built their system, and that's the thing. It's like, if they like I said, they really want true long-term success, they need to start building systems that help recommendations for small niche communities to be seen, to have a sense of growth. Because yes, making subs cheaper does help, bit events help, subathon and stuff really does help the community, but you're only feeding the fat cats. The people in between that range are hustling to get a crumb of something. And like it's just wild. It's just wild. This is the path they think. Oh yeah, this is how it's gonna work. Bro, you guys thinking? Is anyone here thinking at all?
Yeah, well, that's Twitch. Hopefully it'll change it. Maybe we'll hear something more about this during TwitchCon. I would love to find out if they're like, we're going to do this and this and change all this. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, or if it just blows up into a colossal piece of crap. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we have to wait. And like I said, the new Twitch admins have been doing good jobs of helping Twitch lately with their new features, like making alerts and the search feature for streamers, like what time games can be played, or what time is the best time to play games. Look at the game you play, and the 55%. The 55% payout for affiliates is nice. I think that extra 5% makes a difference, and I cannot stress how good it is. There's no penalty for dual streaming on other platforms as an affiliate, which I think it's great. And you can control how much ads you can put in your content, like a minute to like 3 hours, whatever ads you want. Those are good controls. There's enough, but it's still not enough that the core feature of discoverability on Twitch is a key function issue. Oh yeah, but it's the booby lady fault though. It's the booby lady.
Like I said, we weren't going to just talk about titties. Like I joked, I really wish that Twitch would get their crap together. I'd say again. I'm going to smack myself when I'm done with this podcast. I just want them to be a better place for everybody to go ahead and enjoy themselves and grow, instead of all these other issues that they have on Twitch. But here we are talking about the problems that people have been talking about for years, not just months or days or weeks, years.
No, that's the thing, and it saddens me because I like Twitch, I like using it, it's this cool website. Just that I feel like, though I think I've been streaming for maybe a year or two now, and I do enjoy it. So I realized, oh man, this discoverability factor is really, really, really hard, though it shouldn't be. And if you guys want to help me, be sure to follow my Twitch page. Twitch, I think it's silliest, help your indie variety streamers out,
Whoops, I think I might have forgot to do that. No.
Yeah, I forgot. Straight out abandoned, betrayed.
Hey, at least I was there. I was there helping you out. So say thanks for that. I was there talking to you.
I appreciate the help.
YouTube, it's like, wait, he doesn't see chat on YouTube yet.
What? Which I have to work on that. I have to get a feature that lets me see Twitch and that on it. But that's a research topic in the future.
You can't see me.
I can't see you, but you can see me. I'm John Cena, you man. You can't see me.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about something that I know me and Scott really want to talk about. So a couple days ago, there was a tease from MSI stating that they have an upcoming handheld gaming device that they will be showing off at CES 2024. And then I think a day after they did that, the device was actually some of the things of the device were leaked, some of the specs, and an actual image of the device, which looks like and Asus ROG Ally just in black.
Yes.
It's called the MSI Claw, which is a really weird name, but MSI is all about dragons and stuff. So I guess that works out. They said this will be the MSI's answer to Asus ROG Ally. There's not really much to talk about other than the PC specs. And it's weird because this one is running Intel. This is running an Intel chipset where everything else is running AMD chipset,
AMD.
which is weird because AMD's mobile offering, mobile SoC, I want to say is superior to Intel's outside of Intel's upscaler technology. That what is? I don't know how to pronounce it. I just say XESS. I don't know how to pronounce that name.
I'm not sure either.
It's weird, but we don't know anything about the battery. We don't know anything about the screen. All we know is that it's going to be a CES 2024. But what I really want to talk about is the fact that more and more prominent, well-known manufacturers of hardware are jumping into the PC gaming space. We've already had Asus, we've got Lenovo, we've got MSI now. People kept saying, I can't wait for Alienware to make one. It's like Alienware had one, a concept back in 2020, which was called The Concept. Yep. And it looked pretty good. And then it just dropped off the face of the earth.
It disappeared.
It disappeared. It's like Alienware was like, we don't think this is a market. We're just going to go away. And now it's like, oh, behold.
Yeah. They were too fast, and then this disappeared too fast.
Not to cut you off, but I think we discussed this on the last podcast. Like, when we went for like PC handheld gaming, we want more people to enter the space. Are you guys confident that MSI can fit that space fitting, or are you guys like skeptical?
So MSI, how should I put it? When it comes to their hardware, they're good at it, but they are more of their gaming bro.
They're one of the gaming bro who's also big on like the gaming marketing. Those who know MSI also know that they're big into like the esports area.
Yeah,
they're big on promoting esports tech, which if you know anything about like the popular esports games, they don't require a lot of tech to work well, because they like having low barrier entry into esport type titles. Like if you do Counter-Strike, if you do Overwatch, if you do like the other like Apex or Valorant, you'll notice that these games don't require heavy tech. So MSI, they're not that big in like the big robust and technical side. That's usually what most people like see as like Alienware. Sometimes even like Asus if you're looking at like the monitors. But MSI is big in like the esports side. They're also really big at making sure that everything runs fast.
They're the company where if you go to Best Buy, you look at the laptop, you can tell it's MSI because it's got the massive screen and it's got the RGB and it says gamer on it. It's like, yep, that's the MSI. That's the one I want right there because I'm a gamer. I found some of the text for it. So the texts are actually interesting because it's pretty much double everything that's in the ROG Ally and the Legion Go. It has 32 gigs of memory instead of the 16, which is pretty good because it means you could probably offer more VRAM,
2 Chrome tabs
to your GPU, which is interesting. Intel's 16 core Meteor Lake APU, which is basically 16 core CPU, which is interesting because everything else is 8.
It seems like they're trying to beef it up, and I wonder if it is due to the Intel chip,
which is worrisome, I should say, because they're putting all this in there, which means, hey, this is going to need a lot more battery power. And this is going to cost a crap ton of money.
This might be a little more than the ROG Ally, is my guess, or it might be just at the ROG Ally.
The only ROG Ally that you should be buying is the one with the Z1 Extreme. Do not buy the Z1 as a piece of crap. Don't buy it. Which also means that was the ROG Ally was what, $699? So
yeah, $699.99.
So if these specs are right, I can only imagine how much this thing is.
If they're not selling at a loss, it'll probably be in the 900,000 route.
All right, so it seems like that MSI as a company, as a brand, I know for esports, etc., that they're about the big flashy effect. So they're making this big flashy extreme handheld thing that may be spicy, but according to you guys, it's going to be a spicy dollar bill payment. It's like a $1 grand. Like that's too much for me, man. Like if it's like anywhere near above, if it's anywhere above 700, I'm tapping out. I can't see myself doing that.
If these specs are right, and unless they want to get into the market and eat the cost, then this is going to be more than $700. At the same time, here's the problem: they're introducing we don't, but speculation on my part, because we don't know. They could be entering yet another Windows-based gaming PC, handheld PC, Windows, which is, hey, we keep saying that Windows as a handheld gaming OS sucks. Maybe they can come in running some, I was going to say Steam, but some Linux variant, which is not out the window, but MSI, this is probably going to be
MSI
Windows.
is usually Windows.
Yeah, this is going to be Windows, and there's the problem. So we're flooding the market with almost similar devices. You need to offer gamers something worthwhile other than a hefty price tag and an Intel chipset, which I'm worried about because, again, everything's been AMD, and this is Intel. And Intel, at this point, for handheld devices, has been unproven. Everything that I've seen, even of the NE Neos, which, again, another story that I found today was their customer support is terrible.
Don't buy anything from a Neo if you are worried that you may have to actually have someone do something with it.
I'm waiting to see. CES starts on the 9th, I think. So I'm looking forward to see what exactly this does, what exactly it is, and when is it going to come out? Because I definitely want to see it. It's tech. It's handheld tech. I want to see it.
I mean, if it's getting released, if it's getting announced in, say, like 3 days or so, it probably won't be released till, I don't know, 6 months out at the minimum.
Yeah, this is going to be wild. If it's not already ready to show or to release, we're not going to see this anytime soon. And I think, didn't the Meteor Lake just come out or is coming out? So, yeah, it just came out. Yeah, the Intel Core Ultra mobile processor just came out. So there's no way this is going to be ready.
No.
This is going to be months out, if not towards the end of the year. And we could probably see a new Steam Deck by then or a new ROG Ally by then.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see that there's more competition in the market, which is what I wanted to see. But at the same time, it's like you need to be doing something to make us want to buy it. And you being given us, we don't know the specs. So a lot of what I'm saying could be wrong. They could come back and go, hey, we're surprised, it's AMD. I don't know about Intel in the handheld market space. I've not seen an Intel handheld device, handheld gaming PC.
Apologize about that. It seems like that people are reacting to and this is, again, off the top of the dome. I'm not a tech bro or anything like that, but it seems like from an accounting and marketing standpoint that I come from is that people are tapping into the gold rush of this idea of handheld marketing to be a thing, which is good. But at the same time is that it's giving me vibes of what happened in the late 80s, early 90s, the video game crash. There was too many of these like junk consoles and junk games, and they all went into inspire into many documentaries we've seen know about today. But it's like, I feel like this may be a problem because it's like everyone's jumping in on this market all to like get in on, the handheld thing, because Steam Deck can work for Steam. I got this for this, I got that for that, and I'm like, all of you competing in the same space, you all want to, but it just feels like a gold rush kind of moment now, and I'm really worried about that because it could damage the reputation of this market as it is, because we want quality rather than like choices.
Well, you gotta remember, like you said before, this handheld segment isn't new. It's been happening for years, a decade now. Mm-hmm. Maybe longer.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just getting more popular thanks to the Steam Deck. Steam Deck came out and everybody's like, we're going to make one of these. And again, I'm going to say their name again. Anna Neo, who did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They make 8. One like every year and then they just forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it. Good luck. You want help? Forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll just have to wait and see if it's actually worthwhile. All right, so this is actually an interesting piece. I was talking to somebody about this, and it made me think because, we do game reviews. But the question is, and I want Scott to go first, and then Matt, and then I'll go last. Do other people's reviews influence the games that you buy in any shape or form? Negative or positive doesn't make a difference.
So I guess the short answer is yes. The long answer is not exactly. So what I generally like using reviews for is if it's something that it'll be for me like a must-buy day one purchase. I like looking and seeing if everybody likes this game. Does everyone that I usually follow. I like to curate most of my reviews. I don't just like looking at like the top brands and just seeing, okay, these are the names. They're actually people I like following because I either like their taste or because I like looking at their criticisms and seeing how they are. Either whether it be some of the YouTubers I follow or some of the journalists I like to read. And so when I look at their reviews of a specific game that I'm excited for, that say I haven't gotten to review because either I have another game already on my plate or because they skipped out on me. But overall, I like looking at it to see if it's something that is a must-have game in my library that I want right here, right now when it comes out. If it's something that has lower reviews or lower than I was expecting for it to come out, I might just wait till it goes on sale. I might just wait until I want to add it to my library when I have a lot more free time on my plate. But personally, there are still games that even with reviews, like just how much hyped I am for the game, I'm like a big one be like Kingdom Hearts 3, for example. I didn't give a crap at any of those reviews. I wanted that game. And so depending on my, I guess, personal feelings and my personal attachments to the IP it follows, to the developers and to like the actual development cycle of how it was getting worked on, and if I really appreciate the teams that work on it and how they do it. Like, for example, like CyberConnect 2 is probably one of my favorite anime game companies because you can't really trust any other anime game company.
Whoa.
If anyone uses a licensed anime game and it's not CyberConnect 2, there's a very low chance it's a good game.
Wait. What are you talking about? You telling me that Arc Systems let us down? Whoa there, buddy. You are turning.
I say there's a low chance. Doesn't mean there's a no chance. Arc Systems is good with fighters.
No. I understand that completely. Continue. I'm just joshing.
And so there are certain companies and certain development teams that I have 100% faith in. That, I mean, yes, they do have faults. There are problems that they may come into, and then they may have due to either like the timing or due to just too much of the scope. But overall, it usually depends on how I feel about the IP, where I'm at with the company that's making it or the people making it, as well as the reviewers that I trust. But overall, yes, there are influences that I get from reading reviews, looking at scores, or more importantly, I don't actually look at the scores, I look at the criticisms of the actual game itself. Because there's one thing that I know of, it's that scores don't really matter all that much when you look into the actual reviews. But that's kind of my thoughts on it.
Waiting to hear what Matt says. I want to hear this.
Yeah, I know you were. So all reviews are garbage except for mine, obviously. That's the first step. All right, clip that, put it on YouTube, we're good. All right, so the real answer. When it comes to like critical reviews, there's tons of people I follow. There's some people I respect that I follow, and even their opinions are like I respect them, because they do good work. I lean towards of like making your own assessment, and sometimes there is a group consensus to things. Like sometimes, no matter what you say or what you believe, something is just dog shit. There is no way to get around it. There is nothing about it. It's just dog shit. You can lie to yourself. You can look up Steam reviews. It's just dog shit. That's it. And sometimes it could be fixed around. Look, I have a short time this plan. I'm not gonna wait for a fix around. If you suck, you suck. At the end of the story. But the thing is, like I usually do that. Like, if this is a game similar to Scott I care about, I'm gonna buy day one. I sometimes pause depending how much cash is in my pocket, or something that I know day one I'm going to play. Like, give you all your heads up. The moment Relink is dropped, it's day one from the gutter. I played it. I traveled all the way out there to Seattle to play this game. I am day one dropping this bad boy, okay? I don't care if it's buggy, glitchy, terrible translation mods. I don't even care that the game itself melts my computer. I'm buying it. Because that's the point. But unless you're that fever pitched, nothing's going to change your mind. But I always lean towards, like, trust what you trust and assess what you can from it. Is the person you're reviewing this game is a stooge, is going for hard for this game, and then so all the other people said it's dog crap. You should probably look into why people are saying it's dog crap, not that it's dog crap. Make good assessments of things, even things you like. Because if you can't articulate the things you like or the things you dislike, then what's the point? Review scores are just review scores. I'm more about the language of things they use. Like, I gave Wild Frost a 3 out of 5, and it was disappointing to me compared to another roguelike I was playing at the time that I enjoy, Power Chord, which I think it's a better game. I even though 3 out of 5 is mid, I do not recommend Wild Frost currently. Even though right now I've been trying to play with the new patch to see if my opinion change of it, but it doesn't change that much. I still can't recommend Wild Frost as a roguelike hard-like enjoyer.
Man, when he was all about that game, and then we got him access to it at PAX, and he played the game, and he was like, "This game is dog shit." I'm like, "Okay, Matt, tell me what's wrong with the game."
It just like, look, it has defender attack roll rules. It wasn't clear about how some of the effects work. The balance tuning was over the top. Achieving the true ending is like God. When I had the beta, I think I've done roughly 100 runs, and out of 100, I think between 15 to 20 is me getting the true ending. That is how difficult that game was. And I'm a guy who grinds games. Ask Scott. So let me tell you actually how to cheat Raphael in honor mode in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just not to do that. But in all seriousness, it's I really do feel like if you really care about a game, assess it from its bad points and good points and determine yourself what it's worth for, even people you like. There are people who in this room right here I'm talking about, I respect their opinions, but I still double check them for the hell of it.
So for me, it varies. It depends. There are just some companies that it doesn't make a difference who it is. I'm going to buy their game. Matt's going to know From Software is one of them. Even though I hate their online invitation system, it's dog shit.
That's the way to get around it. Yeah,
it's just terrible. But as far as other games go, it really depends. I don't really go and pay attention to a lot of things people say. When I look at people's reviews, I look at more of the technical things, like is it really buggy? Does it crash a lot? Is there a big issue with this game? Because I don't really pay attention to most people's reviews. I just don't do it. I don't have any major personalities out there that I pay attention to and listen to what they say, because the end of the day is, am I going to play this game? Is it going to be something that I'm going to enjoy? I have no idea, because you can review something and say, I don't like how they do this, this, and this. And then I could play and go, I like how they do this.
No, the thing is that at that point, then, like, what are you actually assessing from it? There's no point. Then, again, I said it's going to deter your mind anyway, right? Like, if the game is buggy, is it still worth it? It depends. It depends on the experience, right?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not going to. Oh, it depends on the experience. Like, for example, right? I think one of the most buggy experiences games I ever played was this amazing fighting game called Marvel's Capcom 2. That game has glitches for days. Okay, it's one of the
Marvel.
It's a Kusoge. It's Marvel. Yeah, it's a Kusoge. Like, if you know what Kusoge is, it just means shit game, unbalanced. It just broke.
Is it really?
If it broke, it's well.
Is it really though?
I mean, it is. The game is. No, it is. It is. Like, Marvel 2 is jank on jank, and it's beautiful because of the jank. If you go hard on jank, your game gets good. There is a broken philosophy about that, but trust me, it works. But the thing is that, like, right, exactly. So, like, does the brokenness enhance the game? Yes. If it doesn't enhance the game, like the horrible loading screens in some AAA game that came out a couple months ago, then you probably shouldn't. That's not a good thing. That's the thing about it. Does this intentionally or unintentionally enhance the game? Make it for you better? Then brokenness doesn't matter as much. It matters like how much intent design works. Right. So I don't like bugs is like whatever, but
it depends. But as I said, like I said, I don't follow any one person in particular, but I do a consensus. I do read multiple reviews to see if they all say the same thing. Because usually when you see a review and somebody makes a good point, usually somebody else makes the same point. Yep. And when you see those, you go, okay, well, is that a good thing or a bad thing? If it's like, oh, it just does this every so often, okay, fine, that's fine, I can play it. But if I re-review and they're like, look, this game is complete dog shit, there's issues left and right, and I see multiple people doing the same thing, I go, all right, well, maybe I'm just going to wait until this game goes down in price, or maybe never play it ever. It just really depends. So no, they don't really influence me, but I do keep them in mind. Unless it's a From Software game, then I don't care what you say, I'm going to play it.
Yeah. Even though they're making the same game.
I can't get past the first guy. I don't care. I'm playing it.
I mean, we all can't get Sekiro every time, you know?
I'm still waiting for part 2 and or the expansion. Please give it to me.
They're too busy with the Armor Core issues.
That's Activision's fault.
That is not unironically, like, I'm a that's like, that is actually super true.
It is. They own the rights to Sekiro, just like PlayStation owns the rights to Bloodborne. So
Yeah.
people bitching to From Software for next Bloodborne, even though they said the game was wrapped up. Don't complain to From Software. You need to be talking to PlayStation. They don't own it. PlayStation owns those rights. Go talk to PlayStation. PlayStation owns the rights to both Bloodborne and Demon Souls. How did that happen? I bet you From Software is like, wow, why did we do this? But yeah, it depends on the game and depends on who's talking about it. I keep them in the back of my mind, but I don't let them influence me. Not 100%.
I mean, it like I said, it depends. Like, how much are you going to trust a consensus for things that isn't there, right? Like, at some point,
you have to trust somebody,
right? Because at some point, if you don't trust like reviewers, then we're out of a job or whatever. But it's like it really depends on like how well you're able to convince or portray that idea very well, and how we're able to describe that. And I think that like reviewers or influencers doing it has a important role to it. Some are bad at it, some are good at it. And that's the case of it. I'd like to say we're pretty good at it. Like I keep telling people, this is a game called Tactics Ogre, greatest RPG of a generation. If you just
I've never heard
buy
of it. Can you tell me more about that game? I've never heard of it.
All right, so Tactics Ogre is this amazing RPG made this small independent company called Squaresoft, right? And they made this RPG years ago before this other hack
I've never
company.
heard of them. Do they exist anymore?
Well, the thing is this
they don't.
Well, the thing is that this hack company called Square Enix stole their soul from them and forced them to make games such as Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy.
Can we please get an Endhinder back, please? I would love that. And maybe a Tobu number 3. That would be fantastic.
That is a dream. Unironically, that's a dream. I also deeply want somebody to make a remaster of the Tomba games. If someone can the Tomba platformers or PlayStation 1 and took a remaster of that would make my life happy. Like, you add a little joy to Get Silas' life as he deals with people telling him, I just don't think that 2 + 2 is 4. Thanks, I appreciate you telling me that.
2 times 2 is 4. I love that. I love that so much. 2 + 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. Love it.
Thank you.
It's the only one that does it. It's the only one that does it. We had a conversation before the show started. We were talking about arcade buttons. And I wanted to get a little more depth into it because there was a certain set of buttons I actually found out about not too long ago that I used. Matt, head us off. You were talking about the Swano buttons and how much you're in love with them.
Oh, God. So, I love Swano buttons on my arcade stick. I haven't used arcade stick a lot. Yeah. Just like the way they click and clown, it's just amazing. It's just how it feels. It's like God's gift to your fingertips. I mean, chef's kiss. I love Swano buttons when I was my youth of playing arcade sticks. I love the stick I had. I used to play it competitively. I had a circle gate. I had a square gate, so it ticks 4 ways. Merely easy hit those diagonals, but those are times. But I do love the in general arcade style Sanwa. I do love my God. Hori was okay back in the day. They weren't that bad. I think Matt. I mean, I know Markman was selling the living crap out of Mad Cats when he used to be there, but those were the days.
That was his job. He was pushing Mad Cats because he was.
Yeah, that was his job. That was back in the day. Now he's just vibing, you know. I'm happy for him. I mean that seriously. I mean, I'm very happy for him because those are some pushing times. But during that era of fighting games, early 2000 Gold Rush, there was a lot of people making really good art products that you can use for your stick customization. Those were great. And I just generally miss Salma buttons a little bit. I got to get my sticks probably in storage or to go there and touch it. But
I wanted to mention that because you had mentioned the Swanwas, and I was using them a while. In my they come with. I got the Quambo Pearl, and I really love it. Before I had the Quambo Pearl, I had the Obsidian, but I sold that a while ago. But regardless, so I had upgraded this not too long ago with an 8-gate. And there's Quampa sells a button called the Gravity and the Gravity KS, which are a lot more clickier and require a little bit more pressure, but they have less travel than the Swan was. And I think you would like those.
I'm gonna see it different in the game I play because it's when I piano, I try to slide across. So if it feels smooth, frictionless when I slide across when I do piano keys. So piano keying is when you try to hit 2 or 3 buttons at a time to do certain moves. An example of this in Street Fighter would be if you're playing Honda, you're doing 100 hands, or if you're playing DJ to do maximum machine gun upper in Street Fighter 2, and 4. It's not really, I don't really feel it in 6, but 2 and 4. So it's if you're trying to mash those buttons out, characters have multi-hand moves like that. If it feels frictionless on a piano, or if I'm trying to do a plink, chef's kiss. P-Link. If it feels frictionless, I will definitely get on that.
Oh yeah, but there's a crap ton of buttons out there. But as you mentioned, Swanwas are always the top. The Swanwas and the what are the other ones? I can't pronounce their name. The Semitsus.
Samatsu, yeah, Samatsu, yeah. I know
Yeah, those are also really good buttons as well. I would say that the Swanwas and those are pretty good. I think a lot more people should jump on the Obsidians. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, the Gravities. Thinking about the controller, the Gravities. The Gravities and the KS. The KS are the updated version, but they are freaking loud. So, and I kind of like clickies. As I mentioned, I go to Best Buy. There's a controller from who is it? Scuff. Is it Scuff? Scuff.
Yeah.
Controller. And they have a PC only controller. It's kind of like this one. Don't fall. It's gonna fall. Yeah, it's just like this one, but it's PC only, and the buttons are clicky like this. You can't hear anything. You can't hear anything.
You gotta get that ASMR. You gotta get that ASMR. Oh, this is silent, yeah.
Like.
Oh my god, that's
you can't hear.
You need to on it line. You got to send me a link to that. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use it for my streaming my games now. That is good. That is. Oh my god.
What? This controller? You don't want this controller.
And what? How?
You don't want this.
I don't want this. It's silent, bro. It's silent.
Dude, this is like almost $200. This is almost $200.
Jesus Christ!
You don't want this.
That don't. Yeah, 200. That's. At best, maybe 80. Oh, 80 spotted, but oh my god, 200. That's too much for my blood. I'll see you guys next year.
This is the Reflex, and then you have so this is $200. $200.
That is 200.
And the Reflex Pro is $219, and the Reflex FPS for those guys who like playing Call of Duty, that's $250. I can never get around the concept of playing a first-person shooter competitively with a controller, but I've seen people do it, and they're pretty good at it.
No. Yeah, it's okay. As time went on, the intensity required by like controllers or even like arcade sticks is less intuitive in certain ways to be good at the game. Like fighting game stuff. Hitbox exists, and some hitboxes could break certain games. Like it really did break a lot of Street Fighter V, but that's a whole different argument for a different time. But it's like the in-depth precision needed in fighting games to be super good is kind of lowering itself to be like controller better as time goes on, which is a good thing because it means more accessible to people who play the game. But some people see that as like a cheapening or making fighting games quote unquote easy and quote scrubby, blah blah blah. But I think that like this ability to hit like the perfect DP motion or the perfect plink to hit a one frame sonic boom into flash kick combo.
Speaking of DP, the D-pad on here, even though it looks misleading because it's got the separated D-pad.
Yeah, I see that little thing on the bottom. Yeah,
I really like the D-pad on this.
Right. So, like I'm saying, some people actually believe that the intense high input adds a skill to the game to only hit it. But in my opinion, it actually doesn't. The real skill understands how you assess situation, to hit your links, to go for a reset, things like that. I think that your ability to assess in-game is more important than the ability to be technically proficient in combos in fighting games sometimes. Again, hot take,
Oh, not exactly wrong, but, again, it's $200 controller.
Exactly, $200 is like
$200 control for the PC and Best Buy is again $200. But when you touch it, it's like click, 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 click. It's like, oh, it sounds so good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna buy it though. I'm not spending. I did it once. I'm not gonna do it again. Nope. Actually, no, I take it back. I did it twice because I got the PlayStation. No, I spent too much money on controllers. You think about it, like DualSense Edge, and then I got the Xbox Elite. Oh, Jesus, too much money on controllers. Anything other than Grand Blue Fantasy Relink games you're looking forward to? I'm going to ask you every time because I know your topics are going to change.
There's two other ones I'm looking forward to.
Which are?
There's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I'm on that train. Yeah.
And there is The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak.
Same. I'm on that boat too.
Wait, seriously?
Yes.
Both the same game.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
Todd on and no, Todd. Not Todd. That guy is a person. Scott has convinced me to give the Legend of Heroes series like another try.
Why should he have to convince you to try something that's already good?
Because I've given up after the Sky series. I did not like Cold Steel. I think Cold Steel was way too much sauce for me. But I did enjoy the Lloyd saga essentially a lot. That was like chef's kiss of writing, peak. I don't know why the Reddit think it's complete dog poo poo, but they're dog poo poo people. So
I'm surprised you haven't said Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord, I'm excited for too.
Yeah,
it's just not in the top 3 for me.
Yeah, I got Yakuza like a Dragon Infinite going on. I got Crystal Story of a Dawn Dusk. I got a couple of games I'm looking forward to so far. So yeah.
There's also a new Neptunia game coming out this year, in case you're
wondering. Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Game Maker.
Yeah,
here you go. There you go. We got time. Talk about it.
Okay, so Game Maker is the new one that's coming out later this year. This is also it's already came out in Japan, so we already know a lot about it, but it's using the same system that came out last year with Neptunia Sisters v Sisters. And it's going to be exciting because we're bringing back the old NEP, the old adult NEP from Mega Dimension 7 or Mega Dimension B2. And we're going to be basically utilizing that as a way to travel like the multiverse kind of thing of Neptunia, because of course Neptunia has a multiverse. It has multiple dimensions. And Neptunia Game Maker is about having 3 specific like game developers lean on adult NEP to help them figure out how to make their console successful. A lot of their consoles are actually consoles that did somewhat release in the past, but also were huge failures at the time. The one I'm most excited to see more of is there's actually the Apple Pippin showing up. We have the Lynx and we have the Jaguar showing up in this, which are all consoles that showed up in the pre. Yes.
Did you say Atari Jaguar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actual consoles.
These are actual consoles that came out like in the 90s and the 80s.
The Pippin, the Apple Pippin.
Yeah, Apple Pippin. You can look it up. They're actual consoles that came out in the 80s and 90s that failed for one reason or another. And so they're using that as like a different dimension of how do we help them not fail in this dimension. And so they're hiring Adult Nep actually to help her out, because Adult Nep in the lore of Neptunia is she's kind of like a dimensional traveler. She travels through dimensions, and that's one of the reasons why you see her in some games and you don't see her in a lot of other games, because she's traveling dimensions. She's going all through over the place. And so this one, she's actually like the main Neptunia of this game, which is the Game Maker. So we get it. So it's really cool to see that, and so that's why I'm excited of it. I've talked to a few people who've played it on the Japanese release, and they say it's actually a lot better than Neptunia Sisters v Sisters. Which, if you read my review from last year, I really did like Sisters v Sisters, but I still had a lot of different criticisms and problems I had with like the dungeon design, how the combat is so weak in the beginning, and you have to actually basically learn how to do the combat in order to understand how to make your disc development system work, to make the combat a lot better and a lot more intuitive. Apparently, you don't need to do that as much in Game Maker. They already fixed that for you. So I'm really excited to see how much more they added into the disc development system, so I can actually do a lot more with combat-related stuff. So I can also see how they made more playable characters and how the normal cast of Neptunia will fit in with this newer cast of Neptunia. But yes, I'm excited for Neptunia.
Yeah.
Okay, you had me at actual console, so I didn't believe they actually had console in there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, go look them up. I think in the article that I wrote about it last year when it was coming out in Japan, I actually referenced all 3 of the articles and then put the Wikipedia links to each one.
Yeah, all right. I'll actually give those a try. Check, well, not the games, but I'll read the articles at least. Huh. All right. Well, you never know something until you ask, and I asked.
Yes,
for me, there's still too many games coming out this year way too many games. So I'll narrow it down to just, wow, that's not possible. 3, I'm all aboard for that Star Wars Outlaws. I really want to see what they go with that. Hades 2, obviously, and then Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, which is an amazing, not complete open world Souls-like game. I was looking forward to it last year, but it got delayed. It kind of reminds me of a Devil May Cry, Elden Ring, and Mega Man. It's not about just roaming the world and doing. It's actually about your combat. Actually, has to be stylish for you to earn points, which turns into currency that you can use to buy stuff. So that's actually really interesting, and it tells me that the combat's going to be fast paced. So looking forward to that. Just don't have a release date anymore. Was supposed to be last year, guys, and then it got delayed. Of course, Grand Blue, but I can't talk about that. You talked about it enough. You talked about it enough. Well, we're going to get out of here. So as always, thanks for checking out us on the Spectator Mode Podcast. As always, you can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout. See, I got them right this time. Also on YouTube, definitely check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter, as Matt alluded to. Always check out our stuff out at the Outerhaven.net. We got some great content on there. Anime, gaming, geek culture, TV, movie, everything. Everything over there. Definitely check us out there. And be sure to tell your friends and family. And we wouldn't mind if you subscribe to our channel. All of them. All of them. Subscribe to all of them, please. That'd be awesome. That's it. From myself, from Matt, from Scott, thanks for checking us out. And we will see you later.
See ya.
See, I was waiting for you to do the thing.